Hello everybody and welcome to this introduction to Overdrive session. This event will focus on the use of Overdrive as an education resource portal, enabling you to share information with your contacts inside and outside your organisation. My name is Sean Power and I have my colleague Ian Weatherhook with me. So say hello, Ian.
Hi Sean, how are you?
Yep, very good, thank you. Second one today, Ian. We should be better at this. So Ian is the Chief Technical Officer for Overdrive and will be helping with any questions raised during the session. If you do have any questions during the event, then please use the chat box in the right-hand side of the screen and we'll answer any questions raised at the end of the session. We'll reply directly after the session for those we don't get to answer during the event, but hopefully we'll be able to get to them all. And just one point that we'll be sharing a copy or a recording of the session after the event today, and the event today will last around 30 minutes. So Overdrive is designed for organizations using G Suite, and that's either the education or corporate version of G Suite. And this is because it is deeply integrated with G Suite, and it lets you create a website or a portal automatically from content held in Drive and elsewhere across G Suite and beyond. With Overdrive, you can create great looking web pages and portals without the need for specialist skills. All you need to do is simply decide what content you wish to share, choose from a wide range of page types to suit your content and your audience, and then you add in your users. You will see how this works in the demonstration as we go through the event today. Your users will have easy online access to the resources and information that they need. And also, any site created by Overdrive is automatically mobile friendly, so your users can access the site on any device that they choose. A key strength of Overdrive is the range of potential uses available, such as intranets, extranets, education portals, event sites, etc. And as you'll see in the demonstration, a site can be created very quickly to share information with people outside or again inside the organization. And these are some of the popular uses specifically for the education market. And one of the things we find most interesting in the education sector is the variety of audiences to whom information is shared. And each of these groups can have their own dedicated site, or we can have one site which has its sections segmented so they're only visible to relevant visitors. And we'll see how some of this works as we progress. Overdrive is hosted on Google Cloud Platform, and Google uses GCP to host its own well-known services, including Gmail, Drive, YouTube, Search, etc. So GCP provides global scalability and world-class security for Overdrive. And that allows our team to concentrate on adding new and exciting features to the product. We have Overdrive customers worldwide, and here is a selection from different industries and different locations, and also different uses of Overdrive, as you can see. And with some customers, such as Tarmac and Western Homes, we have created customized Overdrive solutions to meet their very specific needs. Overdrive sites can be made public on request, and a good example of this is UNESCO Sardona, which uses Overdrive to share large quantities of scientific research information. Here are more Overdrive customers in the education sector, and we have a number of school districts using Overdrive for a variety of purposes, as well as individual schools, colleges, and universities. And education and training providers in the private sector also benefit from Overdrive's unique ability to share information quickly and securely to their chosen audience. So hopefully that has given you some background information on Overdrive for those of you who are new to it. We now have two demonstrations for you to bring everything to life. The first is a recorded video of the site creation process. Then I'll show you a few features of Overdrive on a public education demonstration site. So first the video.
With Overdrive, you can easily set up a smart looking and useful site in minutes using existing content from Google Drive. We're a further education college, and we need to connect with a wide variety of stakeholders, not just our students and staff, but parents and alumni and also the wider community. Today I'm going to create a student portal to share all kinds of information, resources and assets with our students, not just learning content, but academic calendars and social events, campus news and other student support and guidance. Overdrive sites are built from Google Drive folders, and all of the content that I'm going to need is right here. Once I've connected Overdrive to Drive, I can use this menu to both create new sites and jump across to existing ones. As you can see, my site has been automatically created using the content in Google Drive. Notice how all of the folders from Drive are now items in the menus. And the content of the folders has also been brought across as pages in those menus, and they'll stay in sync if I make changes in here or in Drive. Now anyone inside, or if I choose outside the college, has access to these files without having to use Drive. I don't have to waste time emailing the latest curriculum or extension work to anyone because the latest versions live right here and can be accessed 24/7. Let's go back to the home page and start fixing it up. The Assets folder is where I'm going to keep logos and other files needed for the site, and I don't need it to appear in the menus, so I'll switch it off like this. My site design is looking a bit basic, so I'm going to find our college logo, and use Template Designer to pick a template that suits our college branding. These advanced settings give me lots of control over the design and layout if I want to go further. Now I'm going to press the pencil icon over here to activate Page Builder and start adding a few elements. I'm going to start with an image box and pick something inspirational to brighten things up. Now I'll replace this folder tile with calendar, contacts, a Twitter feed and a YouTube video. You can easily include any number of calendars that show what campus activity is happening when, which is a really useful way to keep everyone in the loop. And I'll bring in these existing contacts as a quick go-to place for students to find whoever they need. And bring in this welcome video. And I'll finish with a Twitter tile, so everyone can follow what's going on with the students at Sanford College. My home page is in better shape, so let's take a quick look at some other content. This folder contains everything I want to share with my students on education resources, and there's a variety of content from curriculum PDFs to coursework support, including slide decks, docs and sheets and other helpful info. It's a kind of mini learning resource centre. The content is already in Drive, this is just a much better way of sharing it. Users with edit permissions are able to create and upload new files. And edit existing ones. All the campus news will appear here. These are all Google Docs, and there's a choice of how we can display them. So I think we'll go for blog view. Then you can see a thumbnail image and the text, and if you click on it, you get the whole article. And this area of the site includes other support information that our college pastoral team have dropped into Drive folders for the site. And finally, we're in the alumni section, which is where our past students can connect with our current students and with the college. So there we go, with an area dedicated to parents and links to the wider community. We've got a smart, user-friendly student portal set up in minutes, sharing a huge variety of education resources with stakeholders in a quick and easy way.
Great, so hopefully that's given you an idea of how we can create sites very, very quickly, and also some of the features you can add into your site. And what I'm going to do now is show you what a finished education portal could look like, and also some of the features particularly relevant for this type of site. So this is our demonstration education site. We'll send you a link to this site after today's session so you can visit for yourself. It is created to demonstrate what a finished site could look like, and in this case it's for the same fictitious college called Sanford. For this part of the event, I'll show you a handful of the many features available which are useful when using Overdrive as an education portal, just to build on the previous demonstration. And remember, if there are any questions that you have during the event, then there's a chat box on the right hand side, just pop them through in that chat box and we'll get to them at the end of the session. So there are a number of ways in which your selected users can sign into the site, not just via Google. We have the ability to allow them to access the site using their Microsoft or Facebook credentials, or even simply email and password. And this ability to allow non-Google users to access your Overdrive portals makes them great for any institution who wants to share their information to a variety of different audiences quickly and simply. And we have the opportunity to segment the information on the site too. So certain sections may only be visible to certain users. And this works very well for institutions who can create a site for all their users and then restrict access to the information pertinent to each user. And that's either a student, a parent, staff member, etc. An alternative, the licensing model allows any number of sites to be created. So having one per site per audience is also possible. When you do visit the site, you'll see this tool pop up. This is quite a good way to get to know what some of the features are of Overdrive. If you follow that tour, I'll just close this for the time being, just to give us more flexibility in the demonstration. So this is the homepage. It's similar to the one we saw in the previous video. And for this site, we have kept the homepage very simple. It's just really links to information held elsewhere on the site. And for the site design itself, everything on the site that you can see is customizable. You can customize the sections of the site, the colors, the logo, templates, design, and everything can be tailored to exactly your needs. It's typically important on sites like this, which tend to have lots of information on them, that your users can quickly find and access the information that you make available across the whole of the site. And the search feature does exactly this. I come up here and I search for art, for instance, and I'm seeing a mixture of documents, assets, and also folders related to that term. And the results not only show assets with the search criteria in the title, but also those with the search items in the content of the document, such as documents that are held on this site. And we can also see, when we do a search, the type of asset in the search results, so we can easily identify the asset we are searching for in particular. And as we saw in the previous demonstration, we can automatically sync files between Google Drive and Overdrive. And once your files are in your Overdrive site, they can be published directly to Classroom, either as assignments, questions, announcements, or course materials. So in this particular folder here under Art and Design for Information, I have these documents which I want to share at the same time to Classroom. And I can very quickly do that. I choose a class and I choose an action. That's how this information appears within Classroom. And this process is particularly useful when using Overdrive as a curriculum development portal, where all course materials are curated in the Overdrive site before publishing. The course can be designed and created outside of Classroom and then distributed when ready. It also enables us to publish multiple files at once to Classroom, as you can see, whereas Drive only allows one file at a time to be published. Discussions are an important element of most education sites, and Overdrive caters for these very well. As well as providing the option for including discussions on pages with other content, such as a document or an image, specific discussion pages can be created, such as this art and design one here. These discussions can be public, so everybody on the site can see them, or they can be private and restricted to certain users. An example, a staff forum may only be accessed by staff members, for instance. We can collect information from your site users as well as providing information to them in a variety of ways. And in this page under Finance in Applications, we have a Google form, which probably most of you are aware of. And this is one of the ways in which we can collect information that's supported by Overdrive. And Google Forms can share their responses in Google Spreadsheets, as you probably know. So here we have an admin-only page for the responses, and this shows an embedded Google Sheet. And some of the columns have been hidden to make it easier to read. So when I click on a row, I can see all the response data from that particular form entry. I also have the option of filtering this list to finding certain pieces of information which meet that particular criteria. That's really all I wanted to show you on the Education Demo site for now. As I said, there are plenty of other features available which are contained in this public site. So I would encourage you to visit it after the event to see some of the other features we haven't shown today, and you can browse at your leisure. Remember, if you want to ask any questions, then please do so, and we'll cover those during the session. Okay, so here's a quick summary of the main benefits of using Overdrive. And as you saw in the demonstrations, an Overdrive site can be created automatically using Google Drive folders and files. And building a site is fast and efficient compared with traditional methods, and also no specialist skills are required to create those sites. Many types of content can be transformed automatically into powerful and user-friendly web pages. And pages can be easily updated or maintained by editing the original file, either from the site itself or from Drive. And this sync between Overdrive and the source location enables the site to be automatically updated when content changes at either end. Now, just a quick look at the licensing model. So Overdrive pricing starts at 50 cents per month per user for educational teams and departments. And we also have faculty and campus licensing available for large numbers of users. The number of sites that can be created is unlimited, which means that your users can create as many sites for as many different uses as they need under this licensing scheme. We have further information on pricing plans on our website, which is overdrive.io. And again, we'll send you the link to that after the event today. Okay, so just to the question and answers, we've got a few questions coming in, so we'll cover the ones that we can as we progress, and I'll bring in on some of these for the more difficult ones. Question, is it available to Google users as well for the time being? So Google users can use this, but it is a separate licensing scheme. So you will have to pay for Overdrive licenses separate to what you pay for G Suite if you pay for that. And as I said when we were showing you the live demonstration site, that non-Google users can also access the site if you need to, which is a good way to spread the usage of Overdrive to other groups of users. Further question on licensing. How is the user license count determined? The basic model for the licensing is it's a number of users that you want to allow to access your site. And it can get a little bit more complicated than that, but essentially it's not a concurrent licensing model. It's I've got this group of users, they do want to access the site, and you pay for licensing. We do have public sites available. So for non-sensitive public information, you can have any number of users access those public sites without charge effectively, which is a good way to get lots of information out to large groups of users. Are there features for assignments for students, for submitting, marking, giving feedback, etc.? Ian, do you want to pick that one up?
Yeah, sure. No, Overdrive doesn't have those features. It relies on Classroom, which does a fantastic job of handling that kind of stuff. That really is Classroom's forte, and Overdrive integrates and will continue to integrate with Classroom further as we go along.
Good. And another question, can I use this as a teacher, or does my district have to purchase the license? No, effectively anybody can purchase licenses if you have the budget available. So whilst we do have agreements at some districts at district level, we also have individual schools and colleges, etc., who purchase their own license. So if this is something that you want to use just for your group of students, then absolutely that's possible, and we can encourage that. Okay, just coming through from some more questions. Can sites work from shared drives? Do you want to pick that one up, Ian?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Google shared drives normally can't be shared with non-Google users, and with Google users, you can either share the whole drive or individual files. But Overdrive sites, yes, they can be based on a shared drive or even a specific subfolder within a shared drive. So, yes.
Okay, thank you. And another question, is there a maximum number of users per site? I'll pick that one up because it's an easy one. No, there isn't. There you can have an unlimited number of users accessing the site, and that's whether they are signed in users, i.e. licensed users, or whether it's a public site and users are not signing in. There's no maximum number of users that you can have per site. And also, as I mentioned before, it's very pertinent within the education sector that it's possible to segment your users into different sites. So the license allows you to create as many different sites as you want, either for each classroom, each area, each campus. Maybe you have a site for parents or for alumni, etc. You can have all these different sites if you want, or you can have one site covering everything, and then information is segmented per user, which makes it very easy for you. Question coming in: if I have 100 students, then what will the price per year? Yeah, interesting. So we have an annual price as well, which is I do need to check on that, but 50 cents a month is effectively what you would pay per user, and that allows you to create as many different sites as you want. There are two levels of users, so it does depend on what your users are actually doing with the site. So you've got editors and viewers, but we'll send you more information on that specifically, so you can run through that if you wish to, just to cover that off. Another question. This may be slightly off topic, but do you know what Google plans to do with Google Sites? Yeah, that's an interesting one. So obviously we keep a close eye on Google Sites. And since 2.0 was launched, they haven't done a great deal with it. We don't get to see what the roadmap is for Google Sites, and we are very close to Google, but they do keep that particularly to themselves. So we don't know what their plans are. There has been some investment gone into it, particularly with the release of 2.0. There have been some features released since then, but not a great deal. So frankly, we don't know what they're doing with sites. And if you happen to find out, if you let us know, that would be very useful to us. Another comment, like the query about sites, any news about the latest changes. I think I've just answered that one. So that's the way that's happening at the moment. So I think that's all the questions that we've got at this stage. If there's any others, we'll leave the session running for a couple of minutes. Just pop them in there, and we'll come back to you after the event. As I mentioned, we will send you information after the event, so you can follow up on and ask any questions that you need to after that. So just coming back to, here are some recommended next steps in your investigation of Overdrive. You could start a trial site to try out some of these features if you've not done so already. And after the session, as I've mentioned, we'll send you links to our public demonstration sites, including the education one, which we briefly showed you earlier. So you can visit them, see what your finished site may look like, and share with your colleagues and review some of the features, etc. If you do have any complex requirements, such as large numbers of users or very specific needs, we can arrange an individual call or consultation, again, either with ourselves or one of our partners, where we'll look at your requirements in detail and advise on the best approach. So once you get that information, if you've got anything specific that you want to ask us, then please just respond to that, and we'll happily help you from there. So thanks everybody for attending. It's been a quick run through. I appreciate that, but hopefully it's given you an idea of what Overdrive can do and where you can use it. And hopefully we'll speak to you soon. Thank you.